Hey, it's Miss Candleberry, and I am here to talk with you about continuing this. So, on Monday, we talked about character traits, we talked about ways to describe characters. We talked about how we can describe a character using their traits, who they are on the inside, their feelings, how they feel, and their motivations, what they want or need, and the reason why they might be doing something. And today, what we're going to do is we're going to take that a step further and we're going to talk about how character actions, so things that characters do, help to move along our story. Now, characters do things in a story because of these things, right? A character's trait might be the reason why they do something. So, for example, I'm brave, so I do this. Or a character's feeling might be the reason they do something. For example, she got angry, so she kicked the can, right? Their reason, what they want, might be why they do something. For example, I want to earn money for a new tablet, so I clean my room. That's a motivation, right? So, how we describe a character, these things that a character might be, or they might feel, or they might want, those are the things that cause them to do something else, which help our story move along, which help our story move forward. Now, if you know about, it's kind of like, especially in a chapter book. A chapter book is like climbing a mountain, right? We start with one thing, and then we climb that mountain, and eventually we get to the top of the mountain where all the excitement happens, when the most exciting thing happens, right? So today, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on how a character's actions are influenced by their character traits, their feelings, their motivations, and how that contributes to events. In other words, they are brave, so they do this, and this happens. They are nervous, so they do this, and this happens. They want this, so this happens. So that's what we're going to kind of focus here. So we filled out this on Monday. So I said, for example, Harry is brave, and I said it shows he's brave because he stood up to Malfoy and he was comfortable with the snake. So, for example, and now I'm going to say what happened because of one of these events. So, because Harry was brave, and I'm going to think about it that way. I'm going to say because Harry, see, I have it down here, because Harry, I should put because here, because Harry is brave. What did he do? Well, he stood up to Malfoy. And now I want to put what happened because he stood up to Malfoy. What happened because he stood up to Malfoy? So, because he stood up to Malfoy, and he kind of, in all honesty, made an enemy at that point in time. And he made, I'm going to say, you could say an enemy. I like this word. It's very fancy. I like the word, nemesis. I like nemesis. So he made a nemesis. Or an enemy. I'll put enemy. I don't know if that's how, I can't remember, I might have misspelled nemesis. But enemy. All right? This is what happened because he stood up to Malfoy. So because Harry is brave, he stood up to Malfoy, and what happened after that? He made an enemy. Which impacts the next part of which impacts or influences, more impacts the rest of the story, right? Because he's made a Malfoy, because he made an enemy of Malfoy, Malfoy causes him trouble throughout the book. If you've read the book, you know that. So that's an important thing. So what Harry did, because he was brave, impacts the rest of our story, right? So we're going to go here to feelings now, and I'm going to think about nervous. So again, using my sentence stem, because Harry feels, and I'm going to put feels here because that's, this is about feelings, right? Because Harry feels nervous, and now I can't use this. What does he do because he feels nervous? Because Harry feels nervous, Well, let me go back. Let's go back and look because that's important. It's always important to go back. And I know what page to go back to because I wrote the page number down. So page 95. Ooh, here we go. Oh, it says Harry's heart gave a horrible jolt because he was nervous. He never been more nervous, not ever. So I'm looking back at this to try to figure out any second now. He gasped. New student time. So he felt like his legs turned to lead. And now I'm just going through and I'm trying to find out what did Harry do because he was so nervous. Because he was so nervous, he worried. I'm gonna say because he was so nervous, oh wait, I just shut it. He was worried? Well, that's kind of like saying he was nervous, right? Because he was so nervous, he just felt like he was... Miss Canterbury's having a hard time getting back to where I was a second ago. Keys going. Let's see. Because he was nervous, God, it takes forever. Okay, because he's worried about being put into Slytherin, right? So I might say, because he is nervous, he begs, or he thinks. He begs when he's thinking. So I don't know how I'm going to say just put begs. He begs the hat, and if you don't understand, he begs the hat to put him in... Well, that's not the only... Gryffindor. I'm spelling Gryffindor wrong. Gryffindor. That's not... To be honest, that's not quite true. Because he wants to be... I spelled Gryffindor wrong. He wants to be in... It's not my house, so that's why I spelled it wrong. He wants to be in Gryffindor because all the people he likes are in Gryffindor. Truthfully. Because he wants to be put in Gryffindor to be with the only... I could say... Because he's nervous, he begs the hat to put him in Gryffindor to be with Ron. Right? You could say that. Because he's nervous. So I have a reason. You might agree or disagree with that reason, but I now have a reason. So, again, because Harry feels nervous, he does this. So what does he do? He begs the hat to put him in Gryffindor so he can be with Ron. All right, again, it's impacting, and then obviously his house really does impact a lot of this whole series. And so my last one is motivations. Sorry that took so long. My last one is motivations. So now I've got to think of what motivation. So here's the motivation example I have. So he wants to be nice to Ron because he wants a friend. So because... This one's easy. Because Harry... wants. So now I've got wants in here, right? Because motivations is about wants. This is about who he is. This is about what he feels. This is about what he wants. Because Harry wants to, I guess you could say be friends. You could say have a friend, be friends with Ron. What does he do? Because Harry wants to be friends with Ron, he buys a lot of sweets. Remember that? He buys all those sweets and shares them. So remember, that's his way that he kind of starts becoming friends with Ron. So, again, here I use wants because that's what motivations are about. So, and this, him sharing the sweets, impacts how Ron feels about him. And that's why Ron becomes more friendly with him. And that's how they kind of become friends, which is so important to these books. So again, your character's actions, what a character does, is informed. That means the reason why a character acts a certain way is because of who they are, their traits, is because of what they feel, and it's because of what they want. So I want you today to finish your table. All right? That's what you're going to do for today's work.